Okay, you're ready to get a guitar and you're going to go to the store to buy it. This video is going to help you know what to do ahead of time, what to do when you get to the store, and all the things you need to keep in mind in order to get the guitar at a good price and get the best guitar you can for that good price. Here's my advice for before you go to the store to buy your guitar. First of all, you need to plan on being at the store for a significant amount of time. You're going to want to plan for, something more than you'd even think, like a few hours. And that's just so you're not in a rush, and also so that when you're at the store you can really take your time with each guitar. You're really going to want to do that because one of the most important things is going to be, how does that guitar feel to you? There's one other thing I want you to keep in mind before you go, and that is that you are not buying a guitar today. You're going to the store to look at guitars. And no matter how much you like one, and no matter how burning hot the salesperson is to get you to pick that guitar up today, and no matter how much you really want to pick it up, today is for looking only. And then you're going to give it a few days, and then you're going to go back to the store. And why is that? There's a few reasons. One is that you don't make an emotional decision, and another is so that you can, once you've picked out the guitar, and we'll get to this, once you've picked out the guitar that interests you, you can go research it online and possibly find a better price, or possibly find out that people who own that guitar hate that guitar, or whatever. So there's going to be a bunch of reasons you want to just plan on going to the store, not buying anything today. Bring the guitar you like the feel of, because then you can A-B it. You can play your guitar, and then you can pick up the other guitar, and you can see if it matches in the ways that were most important to you about the guitar that you did like the feel of. It's also possible to measure your guitar. So I have a friend named Kevin who knows all with the calipers that measure the millimeters. He knows exactly how wide he likes his neck and exactly how deep he likes his neck and everything. So he has the measurements all worked out to the point that that's one of the things that might actually help him buy outside of a store, in sort of an online environment, which there's another video here to talk to you some more about. So then the last thing you're just going to need before you go to the store is bring something to take notes on. I don't know if you have the kind of phone you can keep notes in. Otherwise, bring a pencil and pad, and you're going to want to, when you sit down with each guitar, take notes on what you like, take notes on what you're thinking about as far as which is your favorite, and then you're going to use those notes when you do go home and start doing research on the guitars. To summarize, plan on spending a bunch of time there. Keep in mind that you're not going to be buying today. You're going to bring either your guitar or the measurements from a guitar that you liked so that you can A-B it. And last but not least, you're going to bring something that you can take notes with. When you go in the store, there's kind of a hierarchy of things that I want you to keep in mind. It's 4 things. And they are, first, your budget. Your budget might direct you to a part of the store where certain guitars within your price range are located. Second, I want you to think about the guitar that feels the best. Now, once you're in your budget range and you're playing those guitars, which guitar feels the best? From which one feels the best, we're going to go kind of back in the quality direction and say, well, now which is the best guitar? Because I like these 3, but which is the best guitar? And this is the kind of thing we might have to research when we get home based on the notes that you take. And then we're going to go back to money. So I know hierarchy, in our hierarchy it appears at the top and bottom, but budget to get you in the right direction. Feel, because that's really the most important thing. I mean, money's our limitation, but the most important thing is going to be feel. And then which is the best guitar, which might take some research, and then back to money. We're going to see which, for the best guitar, we can get for the best price as compared to what a good guitar it is. So then we know how much of a deal we're really getting. All right. Now when you walk in the store, and like I said, you're going to have your budget guiding you first. What are some things I can tell you about budget? I just have a couple pieces of advice when you're choosing your budget. Of course, only you know how much money you have and are willing to spend on a guitar. But here's my advice. One is be realistic, first of all. Be realistic, and in advance promise yourself, listen, this is the most I can spend on a guitar. This is the most I can spend on a guitar. And if you try to be strong and set this rule, I think it's going to help you when you're negotiating with the salesperson or whatever it is. So be realistic and know how much you have to spend. And then from that number, subtract $50. Because let's say, and don't have this this is money that you kind of have in this reserve that you're not even supposed to know about. So when you're negotiating, stay hard and fast with this number that's $50 less than your actual budget, because it's possible that you get talked into something and or maybe with tax it takes you up that amount. But be realistic. How much can I spend? Knock $50 off. If your budget's over $500, maybe knock $100 off. so that you have just a little bit of leeway. But then immediately forget that you set that money aside, because it really, honestly, you win if you leave the store and you have not eaten into your secret budget. The next thing to keep in mind is once you're in the store, you're looking for the guitar now that feels the best. You're in your budget range, you're looking for the guitar that feels the best. Okay, so the way to make these guitars feel their best that you can help, you're going to have your pick, and you're going to try and plug into an amp, your amp. If you can find your amp in the store, that's the best thing. Now, a note about the whole plugging in thing, you do not want to just kind of lightly play the guitar and be like, yeah, I kind of like this one. Because when you get home, that's not what you're going to be doing. So you really want to do what you do at home, and if that's strum it hard, then that's what you should do. If for any reason you're nervous about doing that, or if someone else in the store is disturbing you in any way, a lot of these stores have little rooms. You know, I know Guitar Center, it's almost prefab. They all have like kind of little rooms that you can plug into an amp, and you really can be left alone in there. The sales staff should help you do all of this. The one last thing is also, as far as when you're playing the guitars, you might bring a piece of equipment if you have it from home that plugs into your guitar and you put on the headphones, because then you're just in your own world. Especially if you're used to using your guitar with the headphones, it'll be perfect, because everything else is the same. You've only changed the guitar, and that's exactly what you want, so that you know you like this guitar with no other variables changed about your usual setup. So your budget brought you to your guitars. You're playing some guitars. You have some that you like the feel of. So how do you tell while you're in the store which are the guitars that are kind of the best quality? Here's a few things you can do. One thing you can do is, just like I said, play the guitar hard. Play it like you usually play it. And it might be something where you have to overcome a little nerves because you're in front of people or other people are in the store, might be nearby you and stuff. But if you play hard, play the strings hard. That's also one of the best ways to be able to tell if a guitar has any kind of fret buzz or anything that it shouldn't have in terms of the action or the neck in some way is wrong, to where the notes actually buzz. On that same note, you want to kind of play each fret of the guitar. Play each fret, and it sounds silly, but if you play each fret, you might find a spot on the neck where, even if you're actually fretting the note well, it's buzzing. If this is the first time and you've never played any guitar before, it's an easy enough piece of advice to take. You're just going to put your finger down behind each fret, work your way up the whole neck, and see if any of them buzz. If they do, you might bring the salesperson's attention to it. Maybe they'll set it up for you, but maybe there's something wrong with the guitar. So that's another kind of a quality check you can do. Another quality check you can do is checking the intonation. The way to do that is very simply, a simple way to do that is to play the harmonic if you know what this is. If you do not know what this is, you can skip this piece of advice, or you can ask the person at the store to do it for you. But basically, you're just going to play the harmonic at the 12th fret, and then fret the 12th fret, and see if they're the same note. And if they're not the same note, it's not well intonated, and it might need work. You want to make sure that the store is willing to do that work if you like the guitar, but the intonation's off. Just tell them, hey, the intonation's off. Do you guys fix that? You know, will you fix that before I buy it? And likely they'll say yes, because that's going to be easy enough for them to do for you.